Labby Talk is going abroad this week, all the way to China. Yes, that's right. We are leaving South America behind this episode as we dish the dirt on all things hooking up in China. Strap yourselves in and get ready to learn about a new dating culture so foreign to a lot of us.
It's Sunday night, I'm drinking wine.
Firstly, hello to my co-host Maggie.
Hey,
Welcome.
Ollie. How's it going?
I'm all good. What are you drinking today?
Ooh, I don't have an alcoholic beverage poured just yet, but... perhaps
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm just like easing myself into the weekend. What about you?
I'm still on the Calcigis again.
Very
Love it,
nice.
absolutely love it. And Maggie, we have a surprise co-host today,
I'm so excited. Yeah.
all the way from Recife in Brazil. Eduardo or Edu, what do you prefer? I think I call you Eduardo.
Yeah, Eduardo is fine. Come on. Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Hey, Eduardo.
Hey, I'm good. I'm really happy to be here, guys. I love listening to you. So come on, I'm really, really excited.
Oh, we're so
Come on,
excited to have
we need
you.
some more. I need some more energy in your voice.
I know. That's because I kind of have like a bit of a hangover, and I'm just not drinking for now. I'm gonna drink later tonight, but not now. Sorry.
Eduardo, don't worry. You and I both. We're just gonna like ease ourselves in and have a great chat. And I'm excited.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Who knows? So, if anyone doesn't know, Maggie and I actually teach. I don't know if we should say this on Lavi or short. We teach for the Chinese.
Keep it very vague.
We teach for a Chinese company. So I thought when I met Edu, we haven't met in person, but we will eventually meet in person. I thought it'd be interesting to learn about China because, like Lavi Talk, we often talk about hooking up in South America, and I'm sure that dating Chinese people and even like foreigners in China is completely different, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Well, it's as you said, Ollie. They're like two different worlds. Like you think about dating Chinese guys there, and of course we're going to talk about that. But the first problem is the language barrier. Of course, like that's a big problem. And then of course the culture, Chinese culture, and everything. Also they're like the foreigners who live in China. And the problem with that is that the LGBT community of foreigners in China is not that big. So you can imagine, I hooked up with the guy who hooked up with my friend who hooked up with another friend, and unfortunately that happened. So yeah.
Yeah.
But don't get too far ahead of yourself. We're going to get onto that in the main topic. But we have a burning question for you to start off with. Do you want to drop the burning question, Maggie?
So our burning question for you, Eduardo, is what dating apps do people use in China?
Cool, interesting. There's Grinder. Okay.
Yeah? What?
Yes. Yeah, Grinder.
I'm surprised that's not actually censored for some strange reason.
Yes, there's Grinder, but that's the thing. Like the Chinese who are on Grinder, they're usually Chinese who want to, go out with foreigners, and they usually speak good English. Okay, so that's Grinder there. But the most common app by far is Blue D for gay men. Blue D, yeah, it's called Blue D.
Oh.
And just like for some perspective, like when I was in China in 2015, I saw a survey saying that like there were 12 million users on Grinder worldwide, and on Blue D there were 15 million.
You're joking.
Yeah, and it's like anyone can download Blue D, but it's of course 99% of the people are in China. So that's how big the Chinese gay community is.
That's amazing. So fascinating.
Just for context, like Eduardo lived in China from 2015 to 2020, so like you have a lot of experience with this, and that's why we're all about experience here on Labby Talk.
Yeah, and hearing people's different perspectives about dating.
Do they have Tinder, or is that like not a thing?
They do have Tinder. I'm sorry. Yeah, my friends, the girls, straight friends, and also the foreigners, they all use Tinder. Like, yeah.
Okay. And is there an equivalent as well, or does Tinder seem to dominate the more straight?
Good question. There is one. I forgot the name, but yeah, there is one for Chinese in general, like straight people. Yeah, there is one. I forgot the name now.
Oh, okay. Wow. Whole other world out there that we're really keen to learn about today.
So let's get on to. I have a few questions. I think I've got 8 for you, but I'm sure we'll deviate a little bit because we are deviants here on Happy Talk.
Yeah.
So you're from Brazil, which kind of fits in well with like Labby Talk, right? Because we talk about dating in South America. So you kind of like have a touch. Well, you obviously like are in touch with dating here in Brazil and whatnot. But like, how is dating in China different from what you were used to before you went?
So, dating like in Brazil and I think in Europe, like when I was like in Lisbon and in London, and I would use like Grinder or Scruff, other dating apps. Um, they like it's very similar. Like you're there, you see on the profile if someone wants just to like have fun, meet up, have sex, or just go for a drink, or long-term relationship or dating and stuff like that. I think it's very. I'd say it's very similar in Brazil and in Europe. When you get to China, first of all, the app, the Blue D app, is in Chinese, but you can choose it in English, and even if the person writes in Chinese, you can translate it on the app. So it's super easy, even if you cannot speak or write, in Chinese. But the problem there is that they don't talk too much, on the app. They just want to know about, what you like in bed,
How
and
much money you have?
how much money. They know, they're really curious because if you're a foreigner, like that's
Uh-huh.
of course, like they're curious, especially if you go to smaller cities. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
apart from like Shanghai, Beijing, and I'd say Shenzhen and Guangzhou, these 4 cities, the other cities in China, like if you're a foreigner, then men or women, people are gonna look at you, people are gonna want to know about you, and also, of course, on dating apps, they're willing like to meet you, go out with you, and stuff. But there's not much of a conversation, I'd say. It's more like it's more fun and more like, okay, let's meet and let's do this, and so it's more straightforward, I'd say.
And where were you, just to give a little bit more context to our listeners, and I'm kind of curious to know as well, where were you based in China?
So my first year was in Qingdao, which is in the north, very close to like Seoul in Korea. So it's on the coast, beautiful city. And then I spent a year there, and then I spent my second year in Nanchang, which is more like inland. If you go like a straight line inland from Shanghai, you get to Nanchang basically. So it's like 4 hours by train. And then for the last 3 years, I lived in Fuzhou, not the big Fuzhou on the coast, the small Fuzhou, which is like countryside. So it was like, it was tough, but it was 40 minutes away from Nanchang, the capital city, and that's where all of my friends were. So I would go every weekend there and hang out and meet my friends.
Awesome.
I've spoken to you on a few things, WhatsApp and things like that, and you said that like even like the countryside, the cities are still fucking massive.
They are. So even like the high speed trains would go to the countryside, to some cities, to my city. So and there were about 1 million people. If you think
What?
about yeah, that's a tiny city that, like, if you go to China and you ask Chinese people, they don't even know about Fuzhou. So yeah, they
Wow.
have like the great. It's not even the greater Fuzhou, because you have the urban area and the rural area. If you count like everything, that's 1 million people.
Wow. That's
Wow,
crazy.
crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had basically your whole pick of the crop, or however you say. There was no shortage of people then to be interested in, right?
That's the thing. There was no shortage of people, but the biggest issue with that city is that because there were, I think, about 20 foreigners only living there in the city.
Whoa.
Yeah, and all of them, I'd say, were teachers. So the problem with that is that they would know where I was teaching. Like, it's not that difficult to find, among 20 foreigners, where you're teaching, what do you do. So to be very honest, like, I think I only met up with like 2 or 3 guys in that small city. I I was like, here, I'm here to work. When I go to the capital, I'm gonna have fun. So I
I
was
like
worried.
that.
Work hard, play hard. But you know what? I mean, it's okay to hook up with your fellow teachers, right?
It it is, but there was only there was only one teacher there, and I mean
Oh,
foreigner. and man, like so,
Oh yeah.
and
I
he
don't
was
know who that
married.
was. I don't even know who that one was directed at, Ollie.
Sorry.
Hey.
I was. I want to go. I want to go back to like the app because you said the I forget what it was called, the blue app,
Blue
like
D.
Blue D, letter D.
Blue D.
I love
Blue
that.
Dick sounds like.
It sounds
yeah,
like
I
some
kinda like that.
Viagra like brand, doesn't it?
I'm curious, like, because you know, you learned Chinese when you were there, but obviously you needed the translation to help you. When it translated, could you actually like read what they were saying? Was the translation accurate? Like, or
It was most of the times it was because the conversation was really simple. It was like, are you a foreigner?
what are you?
Or like
Are you top or bottom?
top or bottom? Yeah, you know about top or bottom there. I have to say this. They don't say top or bottom. They
Uh-huh.
say 1 is top, 0 is bottom, and 0.5 is both.
I love zero is bottom because it's just like it's a hole.
So they start like this. They start like this. They're like hi, 1 or 0.
Wow.
Wow.
That's so cryptic. At first, did you understand what the hell they were saying? Did you figure it out, Eduardo?
After like 2 guys, I figured it out. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's it. Like so, yeah. They would always start like this.
I love it.
That's so funny.
So
I mean,
discreet.
it's not. No, well, yeah. I mean, isn't it funny that like that happens all over the world? It's like on Grindr. It's like sometimes it's not even hi, how are you? It's like, you know, they use active and passive here in Brazil, or top or bottom in Australia. It's just like top or bottom, active or passive. Like it could be the first thing that you send to somebody. It's fucking just straight up into it, right?
Yeah, I agree. And then they also
What
send
about on
pictures.
dates?
And they also
Oh,
send pictures. They would also send
Oh.
like yeah, like not like I don't like sending nudes. Like I do now, but like I don't like.
Ooh, saucy.
We
I
love it.
yeah, I know. But in China, because I was always like worried, you know, like because I didn't know many people there in the culture and everything, I was like, I'm not gonna send this, and I'm not gonna ask for them as well. Like I was more like, you know, so yeah. But they would also send some pictures sometimes.
Love it. We love the nudes.
Yeah.
What about on the date? Like if somebody didn't speak English, because I'm sure you went on dates with non-English speakers. How did you communicate?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that was
Through your dick, through your lips.
Yeah, through the emotions, the energy.
Yeah, like okay, I have to say, like the first 2 guys I went out with, they both spoke English pretty well, and then one of them we didn't even hook up. Like I went to his place, we had dinner, it was really nice, I had a drink, and I left, and then we met like 2 other times, but we never hooked up. But this other guy, Ryan, who is was the first guy there, and Ryan, yeah, they all have English.
It's his English
Of
name,
course.
right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, I like we were like friends of benefits for like a year, you know. And he was really really cool guy, and he's now in Shanghai, if I'm not mistaken. But there were 2 guys that spoke 0 English, like literally 0 English. And one we went to this park, and it was kind of like nighttime. Not it was on late at night. Like there were people walking there, and then he took me to a place. This is so Chinese, and I've never told this, Eric, actually. But like in the middle of the park, there was this kind of like a bamboo forest.
Oh, wow.
Were there pandas in there?
I was,
Ollie.
I was the only panda there, and then and then we went inside. Like he knew it. Like he knew this place. Like it was not like by mistake. Like we went inside this forest, and then we just literally just had sex there. Like
Oh, that's hot.
I had a
love
condom,
that.
of course. Yeah, we had sex. We finished. We left, and we literally didn't say a word. Like not even hello.
Wow,
So-
that's so mysterious. Sounds like a movie.
Yeah, it was. I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I'm saying this because everywhere in China, I mean, I'm sure people know this. They have like cameras everywhere. So facial recognition and everything.
Mm.
This is a reality in any city, big or small. So in the
Yeah.
parks as well, because at night in the parks, it's actually I found out that later. At night in the parks, it's really common for couples, straight couples, like to have sex in the parks, especially young people, because they live at universities and they live with like 3 or 4 roommates, even sometimes 6 or 8. So they don't
Yeah,
have
God.
anywhere to go. So it's really common, and I would see I was walking in parks at night. I would see like the cameras with the red lights just like moving around,
Mm.
and so I was kind of
Wow.
it was tense, but it was like an amazing experience.
It
Like,
added to it, right? It made the whole situation so much like hotter.
yeah,
Wow. I mean, like who can really say, "Oh, I once had sex in a bamboo forest"? That's pretty cool.
yeah,
In China.
in China,
I
yeah,
love it.
And I didn't even say anything to the person. It's classic gay, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Just get
wow,
straight to
wow.
the
So,
business.
yeah. So it seems like it's easy to like hook up. I mean, it's easy to find somebody and hook up, but like like if people who are listening aren't very familiar, we have like discreet guys, and if you're discreet, it means you're kind of like you hide who you are, like on the profiles you have a blank profile and things like that. Or if you're open, it means you share your photo and things like that. Is like the society there discreet, or are there openly gay people as well? Because like for example in Bolivia, like if you go into Grinder, there's a lot of discreet guys, like 50% are discreet. Is it the same in China? Because I think like the culture like it's might be a bit, you know.
Yeah, that's an excellent question, because I was really worried about that before going. I tried reading about it in blogs, I tried watching YouTube videos, but there's not much, like, really. And so I just found out when
You
I
have
was
labia talk now.
yeah. So I was really curious to know. And so this guy that I was like, turned out to be a really good friend, Ryan. He told me like it's he explained to me everything, like of like how does it work? What about family? Can you get married? Do you want to get married another man, etc. So it's really complicated. Like
Mm.
I was doing when I got there, I found out that like it was 1997. Before 1997, gay sex was illegal in China. Okay,
What?
Mm.
yeah, like gay sex illegal, and then in
Same in
2000,
Australia, I think.
really,
Yeah, up until it was homosexuality was illegal up until like that year. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really old law. Like, yeah, the laws just that had been.
I think they changed it last year in India. By the way, yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
Finally.
So and then up to 2001, it homosexuality was it was considered a mental illness. So that was when they removed it from the list, 2001. So it's like yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, the big problem with China is this. You probably know about the one child policy, and then when I got there in 2015, they changed it to two children. And this year, I don't know, this last week, I think, or 3 weeks ago, I don't know, they
Yeah.
changed it. Now they can have 3 kids, okay? Because it's super expensive to have a kid in China, because you need to pay a lot so that the kid is like super good, like in school and stuff. And then so that he can get university and have a good job and stuff like that. But there is one big problem in China is about like having a boy. Even though people say, no, it's okay to have a girl, you can have a girl and a boy, they still want to have boys, because when they get married, the wife will go and is part of the husband's family, and the parents of this kid, the son, will take care of the grandchildren, and that's how it works. And then the last name of the man will go to the kid, but the mother's name, no. So it's like the family is over. And I'm saying all of this because this is one of the biggest issues for gay men and gay women in China. They, I know, I have some friends who told their parents, I'm gay in China, and they said, it's okay, do whatever you want, but give me a kid. I just want a grandson, a granddaughter, you know? And then the other ones were like, I would never tell my parents. And I actually, guys, went to 2 weddings, two guys I was hooking up with, like different times, of course.
At the same time.
I knew you were gonna say this. And then there are 2 guys, but here's the thing: one of the guys got married to a straight woman, and he said it's okay. Like we'll have sex only to have the baby, and it's okay because it's not like you don't get married in China because you're like, oh, I'm super attracted to him or to her. Like you do. I'm sure there is love and stuff like that. But usually it's like, are you going to be a good father, money wise and everything? Are you going to be a good mother? Then you two, like, talk, parents talk, you can get married. So I went to this wedding. The guy married this gay guy married a straight woman, and the other one was a gay guy who married to a lesbian woman, and they had a kid, a boy. And I was like, how can you do that? Like, how can you? And then the wife's mother was living with them, and I was like, how can you pretend so much? And one day when we met in a hotel, and he just started crying. He's like, I can't deal with this because it's like I have to lie every single day, but not only to his mother-in-law. He needs to lie to all of his friends, to his friends from university, to like co-workers, to everyone, pretending they're a
To
happy
himself
family.
as well.
Yeah.
That's insane. Living a double life.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? I feel sorry for those guys as well, but I also feel sorry for the children because like it's not a choice that these guys want to make, but they do it for their
Absolutely.
family. So it's tough, isn't it? It's awful to hear.
Yeah.
Like
And it's really common. Unfortunately, like I've met another guy who was also married to a lesbian woman, and then to lesbian, and then other
love that.
couples who were like looking for lesbians on Blue D to for marriage
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's so sad, and that's why now thinking about it again, that's why I think there's not much of a conversation on the dating
Yeah.
apps, because they're like, they don't want to be friends. They don't want to, because you're not going to be openly gay, holding hands, or like getting married. I mean, you can get married in Taiwan, actually. I mean,
Ah, yes,
and
that's right.
that's
Yeah, they did. They did legalize
they
same-sex
they.
marriage.
I think it's the only place in Asia
Uh-huh.
where it's legalized. But then there's a lot of issues of like Taiwan and China. Of course, I don't want to talk about that, but of course, like there's some hope, because I've heard about Chinese couples, mainland China, going to Taiwan to get married. So I mean, there's some kind of hope. But of course, I need to say that I know about couples, gay couples, who have been together for like years and years in China, and they're happy and they live together and they're openly gay. I know about them. I read on the news and stuff like that. But
Uh-huh.
it's not, of course, the most common thing to see.
Right. So it's not a common occurrence at all to see two men walking down the street holding hands or
Yeah, not at all, not at all. Yeah,
wow.
Do you know what? I'm really like these insights are so interesting.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm learning so much, Eduardo. It's fascinating.
yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
What would you normally do on a date? You know, you've spoke about like, you know, the root and boot type thing where you just fuck in the I was gonna
I
call
love
it the
that
panda
expression of
bush, but the bamboo bush. But like if you were to go on a date with a person, like what would you do? Like where would you go? Because like sometimes I've been on dates in public and I feel insecure. Did like you feel insecure? Did they feel insecure?
Not at all. The thing is that girls in China, no, but because girls in China, you can see them holding hands a lot, and they're just
Ah,
friends. And you can see guys like very close together, like hugging on the streets and stuff. And then, but because they're just friends, and they show that public in China, but you don't see straight couples kissing on the streets at all. Like, so
bizarre. Yeah.
yeah, that's really funny. So I'm gonna talk about my first day with Ryan. It was really cool because I
We
was
love
like, I
Ryan.
love Ryan. No, but,
Yeah.
I really, really like him. And then I'm gonna send you a picture of Ryan, and then you can, okay,
Oh
later.
yeah, we want it.
So we literally were like, okay, do you want to go for barbecue? So we went to this barbecue place, had some beers, we're drinking the whole night and talking, and it was a lot of fun. And then he was like, do you want to go to the hotel? To this hotel? I'm like, which hotel? He's like, this is the hotel. And of course, I couldn't read. Uh,
Yeah.
so we literally went to the hotel, we slept, and the next day I went to work and stuff like that. And then we met other times, and till we got to a point that like he was really good friends with my roommate, my housemates. So he used to sleep at my place, and I also slept at his place, and
It's quite nice.
it's nice.
Yeah, that's a very nice like setup you had there. Yeah, I was just wondering like what are some things that surprised you about dating in China, but you have touched on a lot of them already.
Yeah, the thing was their history. Like, for instance, I was kind of thinking like, will I get there? I knew there were gay bars and gay clubs, especially in bigger cities. I knew that, but I was like, is it if like what how it's gonna be, what it's gonna be like am I gonna walk on the street and see a gay flag, or so that was really interesting, because what I noticed was in the largest cities, like in both Shanghai and Beijing, like everyone knows where the gay bars are. There's a lesbian bar in Shanghai, and there's this huge nightclub in Beijing as well called Destination. In Shanghai, the largest bar is called Luca.
Destination.
Destination, yeah. That's where.
I
Okay,
love that.
I'm gonna talk about Destination in this
Yeah.
episode, but the, there's so there's like in Shanghai there's this bar Luca as well, full of foreigners and Chinese gay men and women. So yeah, what surprised me was that even in like Hangzhou, which is a city close to Shanghai, it's a beautiful city, there is a gay bar. So I went there with my friend Angelique, and we literally just walked into the like. There's nothing on the sign on the door, but then we walked down the stairs, and there's like this not that big, but like it was packed with like mostly Chinese, and there were two other foreigners, two other men, and we saw drag shows in China, and I was like,
Wow.
oh my god, like karaoke, of course, drag queens and other dancing performances, and everyone, all the foreigners were not the foreigners, all the Chinese came to us with because they thought Angelique and I were a couple, a straight couple, so they came to us with their phones, and they're like, do you know this is a gay bar? And we're like, yes, yes, we are gay, we're gay. And then so that surprised me. I was like, thankfully they have somewhere to go, like to express themselves, and so I was really happy with that. Unfortunately, of course, it's not in every city, and
Wow, that's amazing.
I love that because like I'm considering like going to China in the future. So it's nice to hear that like the bigger cities like because I think like we don't know anything about China, do we? Like we hear about China in the news and they say like the Chinese are trying to take over the world, and it might be true, but like it's also nice to hear like from your experience that
Day-to-day experiences.
yeah, the culture of normality, I guess. What is normal?
Yeah, what it's like, going out on a Saturday night. That's awesome.
like I'll just compare it like to Russia, because we hear a lot about Russia and being gay in Russia and stuff like that. I was in Moscow and St. Petersburg last year or 2 years ago, and I talked to a friend, a Russian friend who's gay, and I was like, listen, I'm here in Moscow, I know there are these two clubs, two bars, do you think it's okay for me to go? And he was like, if I were there with you, we could go together, but you alone, don't like nothing's gonna happen inside the bar. But as soon as you're out and you're like waiting for a cab, an Uber or something, things might happen. So you're a foreigner, you don't know the place, don't go. I've never felt like that in China, like ever. And yeah, with my boyfriend, like we used to like sometimes late at night, drunk, kiss on the streets, hold hands, and I've never felt, even with all the cameras, I've never felt like I was being observed or watched. They probably saw, of course, but I
I was gonna say maybe the security guards are playing with themselves while they're watching you on camera.
Yeah, maybe they were enjoying
and
it.
then I'm on X videos, right? X videos China.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a safe place. It's a safe country, So yeah, I never felt scared there or anything.
What about because I know a lot of foreigners go there to study and things like that. So how do the Chinese compare to the foreigners? Because I've seen a few of your I know you quite well, Eduardo. And I know that like there's a lot of people who go from like Pakistan and India and places like that. So what's their experience like, or what is different from like hooking up with a Chinese guy to maybe hooking up with somebody from that part of the world? Because again, it's kind of foreign to me as well.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
yeah, that's for sure. And one of the things about China is that, like, if you think about the U.S. here, it's like people leave a lot of countries in South America and move to the U.S. for like opportunities and stuff. China is kind of the same in Asia. Like people from the Philippines, Pakistan, India, all of those countries and African countries move to China for like more work opportunities and stuff. So China wanted to become more open and international in a way. So they give a lot of scholarships to like students from many different countries. And Pakistan and China have this agreement. They're like really good friends, Pakistan and China. So there are many students from most of the students there. I was doing the research. It's like you got Americans actually on the top 10 list, but they usually go for like language and short 6 month courses, or but most of the students are from Korea, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and some African countries like I think Ghana, Nigeria, and stuff like that. So so there are many students from these countries, and a few of them are gay. That's how I met some of them on like the apps there, and all. And then it was in Beijing when I was just traveling like as a tourist in Beijing that I met this guy from Pakistan, and then we exchanged messages on Blue D. We exchanged messages, and he said, "What are you doing today?" I was with Luke that day. Luke knows the whole story. I was with
Oh,
Luke. I was with
cool.
Luke and Dak. We were like
Oh,
yeah, yeah. We were walking around the bird's nest in
yeah,
Beijing.
yeah.
And then I got this text from this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, of course, but I got this text, and he said,
Ryan.
"No, he's from Pakistan." Oh my god, I was gonna say something horrible now, but okay. So
No.
see, so we went to this. So he said, "What do you want to do tonight?" I'm like, honestly, I want to go to Destination because everyone talks about this club. So he's like, "Oh, I've been there. Let's go." We met up. We went to Destination, and yeah, so we hooked up and stuff, and then a year and a half later we broke up basically. So we were together for like a year and a half, and it was really really cool. And I honestly, like, I have so many friends from Pakistan because they are all super nice, like they're all very friendly, and they are, in a way, that's the most interesting thing. In a way, China is freedom for them, because in China they can, some of them don't drink at all, but others do drink, especially university students. So in China, they can drink. Nobody's going to say anything about that. In China, they can hook up with many different women, the guys, I'm talking about the guys especially, like with many different women, and nobody's going to say anything. And the gay men and gay women in China can hook up with people from different parts of the world. And in Pakistan and in other, countries like even India, you can't. So they felt so free in China, which is very interesting because, right?
To
It
us, yeah.
does. It's like, so that's the thing. So I hooked up with like guys from Pakistan and Jordan.
That sounds so
Uh-huh.
sexy. I think I want some of that.
Pakistan is like Jesus. Like I'm really into guys from from Pakistan, Turkey. Yeah, like they're super. I think they're super hot.
There are some
And
very beautiful Pakistani guys. I will agree with you on that.
yeah,
Up
yeah,
there.
like it's
We're
amazing.
allowed to have a type.
Oh,
A type.
Oh.
A type.
Oh, a type.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
we know Ollie's definitely sitting this one out.
Ollie, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's Sunday night. I'm drinking.
Did Destination live up to your expectations?
Excellent question.
Good question.
It was full of people. There were like a lot of Chinese there, but they don't kiss. Like they don't. Yeah, they're not like making out like on the dance floor. And I'm like, guys, this is the only place we can actually do it. So I was like, making out with this Pakistani guy in front of everyone. I didn't care. But they're like, they don't do
Slapped.
it. They would get their they would get their phones and like exchange WeChat.
1 and
And
0.
Oh.
yeah,
Point
what?
5, that's it.
And I'm like 0.5, 0.5.
Me too.
Wow.
That's
that's
so
awesome.
good. I love that.
Yeah.
I think this has been so insightful. I would love to like know more about different places in the world. Maybe Labia Talk can go beyond South America, beyond two
think
gringos
so.
who pretty much don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, get other people's
I think you've showed us
perspectives.
up a little bit, Eduardo. You've made us realise that Labia Talk can be so
Hey.
much more.
No,
I
it's
think
been-
I think that would be amazing, like seriously, like to talk about, because I know a lot about like from Maggie, her experience in Mexico, like about the guys there and everything, and she talked about the type of guys and how they act and stuff. And Bolivian men, straight men, gay men, and then Ollie talked about Rio, and then of course like there's the UK. I'm moving to Lisbon in like 3 months, so
Oh wow, exciting.
so I can talk about like
Yeah.
I know one thing for sure: the language won't be a problem. So I'm happy.
Exactly. You're right there. Oh, you'll get some
I'm
very
excited.
hot people there.
Eduardo, thank you so much for joining us on Labia Talk today. We absolutely love having guests on.
Oh, we absolutely loved it, Eduardo. I feel like we've learned so much and there's so much more to talk about. So I hope we can speak again together on an episode soon.
Definitely, I loved being here. Like I'm relaxed. Like I thought I was gonna be super nervous, but you guys are like super nice, super friendly. I loved it, really.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's because I'm drunk. Actually, speaking of being drunk. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram at Labby Talk Podcast or on Facebook. We don't really use Facebook, so join us on Instagram. And you can also find us on YouTube. We have started to put up some videos in a few weeks. So join us on YouTube at Labby Talk Podcast as well.
Ollie, we thank you so much. We thank you so much, Eduardo, and we thank Ami for the music, our themed music, and to Alejandra Gonzalez for the logo design.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Absolute
so
pleasure.
much.
Catch you later.
Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.